Hello, my name is Don, and welcome back to another episode of Follow. We are now at Hogmanny for an Old Firm game at Ibrox. As you can see, still second in the league, so fairly positive time of it. We'll get to the schedule in a minute. I nearly booped up and nearly went into the game, just completely enjoying the game and just autopilot and selected the team, literally about to go into the game, and was like, oh, wait a minute, this is the game I need to record. Just looking forward to the January transfer window. Not that I think we'll be able to get anyone. I'm probably going to ask the board to try and sign that goalkeeper, but I'm not holding my breath. The goalkeeper has handed in a transfer request after I went to watch him, so hopefully we can go with that. So the last game we watched was Hearts, where we won 3-0 with the 2 goals from Joe Garner from the crosses, which I highlighted before that crosses was a weakness for Hearts, and I wanted to maybe have played a different tactic, but nonetheless, the one we had worked, and as you can see, 5 straight wins, unbeaten in 10 competitive games. Just got the achievement for that pop-up. Absolutely phenomenal. Hamilton, we went 2-0 up, and then we blew it and it was 2-all, and I was like, oh no. And then Harry Forrester stepped up and went big for us. Great performance. Both the goals from Harry Forrester, maybe a bit of luck about them. Certainly the first one, there certainly was. But really, this was a game of wingers. Dugemre was very good for them. He got a goal and assist as well. Harry Forrester involved in all 3 of our goals with 2 goals and the assist for the third. Then we had Inverness at home. Inverness got a player sent off earlier on. It was a pretty drab first half, to be honest, and I was a bit annoyed. Brought Lloyd Isgrove on for Harry Forrester, who picked up an injury, and that actually changed the game for us in our favour. Lloyd scored. It was a clearance, felt him again, landed at Isgrove perfectly, and from McGinn's pass, and he had enough time and space to turn and take the shot before the defender even got near him. Jason Holt and Joe Gardner falling off the route there. Joe Gardner sort of became my number 1 striker. I mentioned in the last episode that I wasn't really sure who my number 1 striker was going to be, but through this run of form, Gardner's been sensational, so I've decided to just stick with him. And then we had to Johnston. Forrester's still out, sorry, I've just nudged the mic a couple of times. Garner again opening and scoring, and then Dean Brotherston getting his first goal for the club, I believe, in 3 appearances, which is fairly good. He's not developing maybe as much as I would like, particularly when I've given him the first team experience. He's not really even adapting that well to the role that I want to play him in, so slightly worried about that, but still valued about what we paid, and still a very young player. We now have Celtic at home, so this will be a tough game. They beat us 2-0 at Parkhead last time we played, with goals from Musa Dembele and Roger, who I've never heard of in my life. Valued at 2.4 million, signed on loan for 725,000 over the year. So maybe a good bit of business that. Celtic, injury news. Rangers, we've still got Rossetter suspended. God knows how. He's suspended for another 2 games. God knows how long he's going to be suspended for. He's not played since that last sending off. Danny Wilson and Jordan Williams are only injuries. Ryan Christie is out for them, and Scott Brown, a big loss if he doesn't play, but he is only doubtful, so they might risk him. Squad wise, nothing changed. You'll see most of the first team's on rest. That was a bit of an accident by me. After this at Johnston game, it was only 3 days ago. I tried to give 2 players 2 games rest, but I accidentally pressed continue, so they've actually rested on the Saturday as well. Still allowed to play them though, which is good. Fitness levels, as you can see, not 100%, but okay for our strongest 11, which I think we have to play today. Michael Aaron returns from the bench after his injury. Again, he wouldn't be there, but with the injury to Harry Forrester, I think it's needed. He is now recovered from that injury, but if you look, 83% conditioning, it's just not good enough. I was going to play a second string against it Johnson, but if you look, we were at 37 points before that game, and they were on 30, and they had a game in hand, and I was like, I can't really afford to do it. Celtic still have the 2 games in hand over us, and are 7 points clear. We are 5 points ahead of Hearts on the same amount of games played. Aberdeen also played a game more than us, so that's all positive things for at least second place. Even if we lose today, we're still going to maintain at least a 5-point gap. At least a 2-point gap to Hearts with the same amount of games played, should they also win. Nothing else really to talk about. There's been no transfers, obviously. A couple of guys I've looked at and tried to sign, and they're just not happy with the wages I'm offering, which is fair enough. There's one guy, he was well in the sort of ballpark that the scout was telling me. I never sign. I do play with attributes not hidden, but I never sign a player without scouting them extensively first. Usually, there'll be the odd one that'll sign when I just scout him and he comes up, like McGinn at the start of the season. But again, McGinn was a player I was going to look at anyway. As I said, again, he's still not really improving that much. But again, what I can show you just now is my shortlist. Now, I don't normally do this, but as you can see, fairly large shortlist, and every single one of these players has been scouted fairly regular, apart from there's some Benfica guys I've added recently. I know the Portuguese youngsters are quite good, and I decided let's just go and pick one of the big teams. We'll go and scout, just get 2 team reports, and I'll add a few of the young guys. None of them are actually even remotely interesting coming right now, but it is what it is. This is Scott Bain. This is the goalkeeper we've been talking about getting. The reports here, unlikely to improve much in the future, if at all. Has requested to leave. That happened. I went and watched him play Celtic. Dundee beat Celtic 2-1. Bain was phenomenal. The other reason why I like him is he's Scottish, so that's maybe a bit of Scottish bias. But if you look here against West Furthering, much better shot stopping, similar, same distribution, worse at physical and speed, and better in every other aspect. I'm not really sure what Elec's eccentricity really is, to be honest with you, but whatever. It's a stat here, so it means something. Attribute reflects the goalkeeper's tendency to do the uninspected with or without the ball. Okay, so he's a bit less predictable than Fotheringham, but at the same time, I just think he's a far better goalkeeper. He's young-ish, Scottish, and he handed in a transfer request when we went and watched the Celtic game. As you can see, Leeds wants to move to a bigger club. It doesn't say specifically Rangers, just a bigger club. And I think the fact that we've been scouting around for a while now shows that, and we are the only team interested, so I think it is he wants to come to Rangers. 7 out of 7 scouts out on assignments. As you can see, I do have my scouts setting up things, but all the players I've been told to do, they've done themselves, and as you can see, there's a fair amount. It's not quite the whole shortlist. I missed a lot of the ones ending, and I just decided I'm just going to leave it where it is just now. I've scouted a lot of them enough. Luca Grasbrotto here, ex-Rangers youngster, spent a lot of years here, and to be honest, I really wouldn't mind them bringing him back. He's still got a lot of potential to grow into, and maybe a bit of previous FM bias. I just like the guy. Nothing else has changed. Maybe I hope we can get one signing in the summer, in January, in Scott Bain. But that's what it is. I meant to go through my first team, but it never switched to the thing, so I'm a bit of a dafty for that. So, lineup for today is Fotheringham in goal, with Wallace and Tavernier in the fullbacks, Suter and Senderos in defence, McGinn and Barton, forming actually quite a good partnership in the sort of back of our midfield, with Esgrove, Holt and Mackay leading the attacking side of the midfield, with the wingers inside forward and attacking playmaker and Holt, and Joe Gardner leading the line. Celtic lead up pretty much as how you would expect, apart from Gamboa, would maybe expect Lustig there. Front three, and Mings, I've never heard of Mings, 23 years old, on loan from Bournemouth. This looks an absolute steal, 350,000 for him on loan. Looks an absolute steal for 350,000 on loan. Again, I think Tierney's injured, so that's maybe why he's in. Near Bitten, Rogek, Roca again, another new signing I think, on loan from Espanyol, not even costing them a penny, apart from maybe some wages, and Gordon and net. So it's a fairly strong Celtic team, and we're almost full strength. Hopefully we can get a result here, so come on, right. I'm going to use the critics one. The media still really haven't stopped having a go at us ever since we had that sort of bad patch, but I guess every team's going to have a bad patch throughout the season, and we've hopefully had ours already. The team certainly, the tactical changes I've sort of made, making inside forward on the left and changing McGinn to an advanced playmaker, seem to have actually made a bit of a difference, I think. And the fact that we've now got a striker who plays every single game rather than rotating him in and out, I think's also made a bit of a difference. Other thing that I was going to note is I've watched a few other FM series now, and everyone seems to have the stats up. Garner, good save by Gordon, straight at him to be fair, but still can mistake that and make an error. But We've already done better than what we've done in the last game. We've now got a shot on target. We only had 2 shots last time with none on target. We're absolutely bossing the ball. So fairly happy with this. But yeah, a lot of people have this stats menu open. I think it's match information. No. Match overview. Okay. Oh, passionate. We can still come out with a win. I'd take a 0-0 right now, to be honest. Match overview, no. Match stats, it'll be this one, yeah. So as you can see, we've had the only clear-cut chance. It's maybe not this exact menu, but it's one that's similar to it that people have open. But there's certainly a half chance option that I've seen on one. The reason why I don't have that open is I like to see the whole screen. And I don't feel I can do that with that on. I'm going to bring on Nico Cranchar here. Played fairly well off the bench against at Johnston. And I think him and Holt are quite similar in ability still. So I'd quite like to see Nico come on and do well. Is this meant to be a highlight? Like, yeah. That was meant to be a highlight, and I'm not sure why it wasn't. It never actually came up with the thing until I hit the thing at the bottom. Don't know if I've now replayed it. Yeah, I have. Whoops. But we're back live again, so maybe it wasn't actually at one. Still waiting on that change happening. I'm thinking of bringing off McGinner Barton for Halliday. It will be one or the other. The other one will play the full 90. And then maybe bring off Mackay for O'Halloran in a bit. So I'm going to bring off Barton. Just because I think McGinn's one of the guys that even with slightly less fitness can change the game for us. And if Celtic start to press, we're going to need a fully fit holding midfielder. It's been quite a drab game, this, to be honest with you. Oh no, that's a straight red. It's our 6th straight red of the season. We've only had 3 players sent off, and every single one of them's got 2 straight reds. Can we have anyone? Oh no way, James, man, what are you doing to me? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Clint Hill for. I don't know. You see, with the attacking lineup we've got, Cranshar's really the only one we can bring up. I suppose what we could do is go with Cranchar there, Mackay there. What kind of. Right, you recommend. Let's have a look at stats. So, Barry Mackay. Click on it there, right? So, can you play this role? And what does this role do? It doesn't tell me here. Right, so Barry Mackay, take a restart, can operate in attacking midfield, centre forward positions. While similar to advanced playmaker, he aims to drop into the holes between the midfields and defence. He does far less defensively and drifts around, looking for space when his team is not in possession. As such, the rest of the team need to carry him while defending, but use the main outlet as the main outlet when attacking. Only available on attack duty. Right, we're going with that. I actually quite like the sound of that. Bring on Clint Hill for Isgrove and swap them around. Senderos can play that ball playing defender fairly well. Suter can go into the right reasonably comfortably. Do I bring Halliday back into a holding role? I think I do. So you can go there and you will now be. Again, I just want to have a little look at Halliday. I want to see if he can play anchor, any sort of ability to it. Halfback's the other one I'd address. Low head and all is the weakness there. Do you need that for that? Yes, you do. In fact, you need a lot more stuff. Although you're actually good at everything else. So I'm actually going to go for him as a halfback on defend. McGinn can go here. Cranchar can go here. Now let's work out how we're going to play them. So it sort of becomes a 4-4-1-1. McGinn will actually play as a box-to-box. That'll have him going everywhere. And I'll keep Cranchar as an attacking playmaker. Yeah, this was such a cruise control 0-0 as well. And what we're also going to do is contain instructions, play even safer, deeper, clear the ball to flanks. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to exploit the middle. Not look for overlap. Not going to work a ball into the box. Not retain possession because that's just a bit daft. not roam from positions. Fairly wide. So we're now playing for 0-0. That's fine, that suits me. We've still got some sort of attacking threat with Mackay and Garner. It's not really how I wanted to see out this game, to be honest. Mackay, Garner, come on. Yes! Come on! And with 10 men, we've taken the lead in the 88th minute through Go Garner while we're just trying to play out for 0-0. And oh, absolutely beautiful ball from Mackay. The keeper probably should come and get this. And to get beaten at his near post from that angle is absolutely shambolic. But we are 1-0 up in the Hogmanny Old Firm game. Absolutely sensational stuff. I want to say we got the tactical changes right, but none of them are really relevant there. I think it was maybe even from a short free kick, which I changed. And I gave us short free kicks as an option. I said I wanted to play it into the tallest player in the box, but so far I've seen two. John McCown on Cooler Raffles out of hands after feeling award a clear penalty in the 65th minute. Now, this was maybe the highlight that I thought was maybe a highlight, and then it wasn't, and whatever. I don't know. But if we took 3 points back on Celtic, we're only 4 points behind now with them having 2 games in hand. Which, while it isn't brilliant, it's a lot closer than what we have been. Stats. I just want to have a look at stats here real quick. So, match stats. We had one clear-cut chance, so maybe the slightly better of the teams. Definitely better possession. More shots on target. Vastly improved performance from the last game. Any other Rangers stats? Here we go. Anything in particular I really want to look at? No, not really. Let's have a replay of the goal, because I think this is from a short free kick. It is. So I've got the guy short here, and I've got another guy short here. He's might be disrupting the wall actually, but it works out, and I just pass it, and it's just such a beautiful pass from is it McGinn into Mackay? It is. And then just an absolutely beautiful ball into the channel for Garner, who runs again. Should never get the goal, but sensational nonetheless. Bit ecstatic to win that. Late goal, late win, and sensational scoring streak as well just popped up for me. So I think that's scoring 15 competitive games in a row. So no, because we've not. We've had 0-0 there. I'll work out what that is anyway. But thank you so much for watching. A sensational performance. Next game. It's actually only 2 games away, but it's a month away, so it's after January, so we should have a fair amount to talk about anyway. I'll go with Hearts again. Or, let's go for Ross County actually, just because it's someone different. I think Ross County are actually bottom of the league. We've just appointed Billy Stark, the former Scotland under-21s manager, as their new manager. So they might improve a little bit, but at the same time, it's just someone else, so you're not seeing Hearts, Celtic, Aberdeen as sort of the only teams we play, with the odd other sort of leap game. That also sets us in okay stead for the next Old Firm game. And then I'll finish off just before the split with Aberdeen, who we haven't actually recorded against yet. We were supposed to, but we didn't. So we'll do Aberdeen away just before the split, rather than Partick Thistle. I think everyone in the top sort of Partick Thistle have actually fallen off. So yeah, that feels fair to me. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you on the 4th of February for a home game to Ross County. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like or subscribe.